Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 cyborgs in Mortal Kombat. Now, much like my other top 5 lists, there is going to be a criteria for this. As cyborgs doesn't just mean the person has to be a robot, it has to be a cybernetic enhancement to an already existing skeleton. So anything that's pure robot will be excluded from this list, as by definition they technically aren't a cyborg, they are a robot. Now for this list I'll be taking into account their popularity, as well as what makes them extremely unique. So designs will be taken into account. I'll also be talking about how significant and important they've been within a story, as well as the unique capabilities they bring as a fighter. Now just before I start this list, consider this a disclaimer. This is my own personal top 5s list. You don't have to agree with everything here on it. In fact, I actually encourage you to not agree with everything here. And if that is the case, honestly do feel free in the comment section below to make your own top 5 cyborgs list. I definitely encourage it. Now on that note, let's actually get on to talking about the top 5 cyborgs in Mortal Kombat. Now at number 5 we have Jackson Briggs. Now Jax is one of the stronger written characters in Mortal Kombat. He has a classic I don't give a crap attitude rolled up into arms literally made of steel. Now Jax didn't always have these. He was given them in the previous timeline as gauntlets he could wear, and later when he eventually lost his arms, he was able to obtain these cybernetic ones. Even in the new timeline where his arms get pretty much turned to ketchup, he is cyberized and given cybernetic ones. Now in terms of character, Jax is a very strong-headed militant man, always doing what he thinks is right for his own realm. Now despite this, he is slightly hot-headed, and this has got him into situations that he hasn't always been successful with. Cough cough Ermac. Now in terms of character design, the most standout thing about Jax is his massive metal arms. It is essentially what gets him here on this list. Now as unique as they are here, it certainly does pale in comparison to some of the other people here, but I'm not taking anything away from those things. He could probably punch a massive gouging hole out of someone's chest with little to no effort. Now although Jax has been around for an extremely long amount of time, he's never had a massive significant role in the story, and seems to be more of a supporting character for someone like Sonya, which is kind of a shame. But it's not like he's completely overshadowed by her. He's certainly been able to come away and actually become his own character, even if that did lead to one of the worst spin-off games of all time. Now Jax overall is a fantastic character, but compared to some of the other characters here in this list, in terms of what they have, he most certainly does pale in comparison. Hopefully we'll see more from this character in the future, but until he gets massive arms the size of cars, he shall remain at number 5 on this list. Now at number 4 we have a tie between Kano and Cabal. I honestly do love both characters. Kano kind of has this sleazy, criminal, conniving and sneaky attitude, whereas Cabal kind of has this kind of laid back and like really kind of cool attitude. And we were really kind of able to explore this, although it be very briefly, in the new timeline. Now as both designs go, Kano has always been extremely cool with the cybernetic eye implant that he has, but compared to Cabal, the guy has a breathing respirator and wears one of the coolest masks in Mortal Kombat. Along with that, his cybernetic enhancements pretty much makes him a speedster. Now in terms of the significant role they play in the game, Kano, although holding a very minor role in many cases, has played a rather significant impact in his relationship with the Special Forces, as the two groups are constantly butting heads. Now in comparison with Cabal, Cabal was an extremely cool character and concept, but one that was rather poorly executed when it came to like standing on his own. He went from being a good guy to a bad guy with kind of silly reasons, so the writing for him is extremely weak in comparison to someone like Kano. Now in terms of gameplay, Kano has always kind of had this crazy rough upfront and grab fighting style, and if he's busy not turning into Sonic the Hedgehog, then he's most likely going to be sticking a knife in your ribs. But I will say that he does pale in comparison to Cabal, because like I mentioned earlier, the guy's practically a speedster, along with those beautiful, and I mean absolutely beautiful, pair of blades he wields. It makes for a truly unique fighting style, and that's what I mean by these two had to be tied up together, and that's why it was so difficult for me to not have these characters tied. I like them equally and they both succeed in different areas, so in all honesty I couldn't choose one over the other. Now at number 3 we have Cyrax. Cyrax has been one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat for an extremely long amount of time, and that's vastly due to his design, as well as his insane fighting style, and some of the crazy bomb setups you can actually do in Mortal Kombat X. Like honestly, it's madness, sheer madness. Now outside of his amazing cool yellow shell, Cyrax is a rather tragic character. Like many members of the Lin Kuei, he was indeed forced into the Cyber Initiative. He didn't have a choice in this. In fact, in the new timeline, he in fact ran away till he was captured, and once again forced into being cyberized. So there's definitely a tragic sense to this character, and even when he was freed from the Lin Kuei's control, he attempted to regain his humanity, and even in the new timeline timeline when he was released from the Lin Kuei's control, he would allow Sub-Zero to restart the Lin Kuei by sacrificing his own life, allowing the Lin Kuei to start with a clean slate. Now everything is pretty much good with Cyrax, up until his character development in the original timeline. You see, when he joined the Special Forces, Cyrax kind of got lost in the shuffle of characters, and was pretty much designated to being the side character, which is a shame, especially when you think about his design and the potential he essentially had. And that's what keeps him at number 3 here. Unfortunately, there's no future character development for him, as the character is currently dead within the main canon. I would personally love to see this character return, but whether or not this actually does happen is certainly up in the air. Now at number 2 we have Smoke. Now there's no denying anyone this. Smoke is certainly one of the most unique characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, being able to use the power of an Enenra. It's something that hasn't been replicated in the Mortal Kombat universe, and something that has been tailored to him, allowing him to be extremely unique. This is shown in his fighting style, where as you'd expect, there's a lot of smoke. He does have a rather tragic backstory, being sacrificed by a cult at a young age, being merged with an Enenra, and then later on being forced to become a cyborg. He has not had it easy. Now Smoke is beloved by fans due to his fighting style and the pretty damn amazing costumes he's appeared in from game to game. Now unlike Cyrax, in the story department, Smoke has done rather well. In the original, he joined up with Noob Saibot, forming the team of Noob Smoke and adding a very diverse and unique fighting style as they'd work in tandem with each other, making for the first kind of tag team in Mortal Kombat history. From then onwards, he in fact played a significant role in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where he's attacking a Lin Kuei temple alongside Noob Saibot. He's proven to play a rather significant role in the new timeline, but as of right now he is currently a Revenant, and whether or not we will see him return is left up in the air. The reason why he isn't in fact at number 1 on this list is because in this timeline he's not currently a cyborg, and Triborg is a DLC character, so we don't know whether or not this is in fact canon, and we are very aware that the current Smoke is in fact a Revenant. But who knows, maybe if he becomes an Enenra Revenant cyborg, then he might be number 1. And my number 1 spot here should be fairly obvious. It's former Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei and a red cyborg, Sektor. Now I got to admit, Sektor is an extremely underrated villain. I'd arguably say that he's one of the better villains of Mortal Kombat. After overthrowing his own father to become the new Grandmaster, Sektor has been a tyrant and a very vicious leader, whether that be when he's part of the Dakunin or the Lin Kuei. Now in terms of design, Sektor has always had a very sleek kind of hotshot red design, and it's always had him stand out compared to the other 2 cyborgs, 3 if you count Cyber Sub-Zero. Now what's allowed Sektor to be unique is his gameplay. The fact that he can fire rockets is absolutely insane, and when you think he couldn't get more metal, he's got flamethrowers in his arm. Now outside of this, in terms of story, Sektor has done the best of all of the cyborgs of the Lin Kuei, because like I said, he became the new Grandmaster, and even when he did lose that title, he formed his own cyborg army, the Dakunin. So even after losing everything, he was able to kind of build himself back up at that very same pedestal he did lose. So he was able to recover from his loss, unlike many characters in Mortal Kombat. Sektor has certainly been one of the fan favorites for an extremely long time, and if he isn't loved by fans, then he's loved to in fact be hated, because he is a very good villain and has done a fantastic job in Mortal Kombat. Although he may somewhat be currently dead, Sektor has proven time and time again that he is one of the best villains, and to me, best cyborg in Mortal Kombat. Anyway guys, that's been it for my top 5s list here. Please feel free in the comments below to make your own, as well as let me know what other top 5s lists would you like to see me do next. I also want to inform you guys all that I'll be doing a top 5 things you didn't know involving Injustice characters, and I'll be doing another Mortal Kombat theory video later this week. This time just letting you guys know about the true strengths of Cassie Cage, and how her victory over Shinnok in Mortal Kombat X is in fact justified, but also ridiculed with plot armor and just general character progression problems. We'll get into that at a later time. Now before this video wraps up, if possible guys, let's try getting this video to about 750 likes. It's a great way of supporting myself and this channel, as YouTube's algorithm system is extremely broken. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I will see you all next time.